Norfolk and Western in the late 1950s gained the reputable nickname amongst the railfan community as the Alamo of Steam. In late 1956 and early 1957, noted railroad cinematographer Don Kehl took 2 trips over to the NNW to document their operations on 8mm film. Now in the care of the archives at the Western Railway Museum, it is hoped that you enjoy this look back at the Norfolk and Western, the Alamo of Steam. Part 2 begins with a trip on the famed Abingdon branch. Chartered as the Abingdon Coal and Iron Railroad in 1887, it was taken over by the NNW in 1919. Splitting from the Radford Division Main at Abingdon, the railroad extended 55.5 miles south to West Jefferson, North Carolina. At Vale's Mill, we see the everyday except Sunday mixed train 201. Power on the branch was normally one of 3 480 M-class mastodons. On this day, the train is being headed up by the 429, an Alco product of 1907. The 429 arrives into Damascus and performs some switching duties before leaving town. One cannot mention the Virginia Creeper, as it was affectionately known by the locals along the line, without also mentioning revered Norfolk and Western steam photographer O. Winston Link. Known primarily for his black and white negatives of the Norfolk and Western at night, the Abingdon branch was one of his favorite daytime subjects, and his vivid color images of life along this line at the end of the steam era are considered to be photographic works of art from the golden age of railroading. After leaving Damascus and heading toward White Top, we see the train negotiating many of the bridges on the line, of which there were 108. The train stops at Warrensville as it continues down into West Jefferson. With its safety valve lifted, the 429 crosses one of the many trestles over Buffalo Creek on the way into West Jefferson. After servicing and turning around at West Jefferson, we are on board northbound train 202 on the way back to Abingdon. Steam power on the Abingdon branch only had 10 more months to go when these sequences were taken, and after the fires were dropped in December of 1957, service continued to decline, with the mixed train service being dropped in 1963, and decreasing freight revenues led to the branch's overall abandonment in 1977. Today, much of the Abingdon Branch right-of-way can still be explored as the Virginia Creeper hiking and biking trail. With 480 number 433 preserved at Abingdon, and several of the original depots along the line still intact, the memories of a little train rolling through even littler mountain towns will never remain forgotten. Moving back to the main line, we see a Class J 484 on the Tennessean between Abingdon and Bristol. There are no two things more synonymous with the Norfolk and Western than the name Roanoke and the line over the Blue Ridge Grade. With the large N&W shop complex that constructed so many finely tuned superpower steam locomotives, the giant classification yard at Schaefer's Crossing, and the Norfolk Division main line over the Blue Ridge Grade, nothing screams N&W to a fan more than this piece of railroad. At Roanoke, we see N&W 280 number 6 already having been donated to the fledgling Virginia Museum of Transportation. On the Norfolk Division main line over the Blue Ridge Grade, east out of Roanoke, we catch a double-headed pair of Y-Class 2882s on a westbound freight passing a waiting helper at the Boaz Pusher siding. Vinton, we witness a classic N&W scene as a pair of Class A 2664s double-head a coal train past the depot. We start an eastbound chase of this Class A 2664 on a general freight passing a Y-Class 2882 waiting on the Boaz Pusher siding in the distance. At Blue Ridge, we see a pair of Y-Class 2882s, one on the front and one on the rear, giving it all they got to lift their heavy coal train over the summit. As we see the morning eastbound local passenger train at Blue Ridge, followed by a J-Class 484 on the westbound Tennessean. We conclude this look at the NNW in the 1950s with a look at steam on the Blue Ridge grade, the way we all would like it to be remembered.